Hi guys, John, Common Sense Outdoors. So the day that I set up my survival shelter and fire pit and all that, I found the bottle bottom in the woods, and I mentioned that maybe we'll try to nap that into a point in the future. My thoughts on this are only using what I would be able to find or come across in the woods. Good chance of finding a bottle bottom. Good chance of finding an antler shed. Not too hard to find a hammerstone, abrasion rock. The other day when I napped the black obsidian, I talked about and showed you this percussion flaker, which this isn't copper, this is a nail, just a coated nail. A nail possibly could be something that you could come across. I may not use it. We'll see how well this antler works. You know, but depending on what puts you in the survival situation, being in a survival situation doesn't always mean you're lost. You could just be stuck, stranded, injured in an area where you could find a nail, an old fence line, an old campground. So that's a possibility of something that you could use. So just grab this rock. First thing we want to do is try to break off all the edge. I did bring the piece of deer hide. You might not come across that right away in a survival situation or long-term scenario. So what I would do then would be to try to find a sturdy piece of bark that I could take off of a downed tree, a log. But for today I'm going to go ahead and use the deer hide. I've never tried to nap glass before, so we're learning together on this one. It may prove to be a little harder actually than the obsidian, because the hardness of glass and obsidian are very close to the same, but the glass bottle bottom has got a concavity and a convexity that we have to deal with, which makes it a little harder. I am not doing this on the over by the survival shelter, just because I don't want glass all over. And even if you were using obsidian or plant chert, any napping basically you're going to try to do, don't do it where your kids are going to be running around barefoot. Another safety precaution would be eye protection, and then especially this glass situation, a glove probably wouldn't have been a bad idea, but wanted to try to do it similar to what I would have in a survival situation. Unless I have a good sized kit with gloves in it, I would not have gloves. So we're going to just be careful. Basically, I'm just trying to get the outer edge broke off without breaking it across the middle. At the moment. And I will again be abrading as little as possible. If I can do it without doing a lot of abrading, I will. I think this would be much easier with my copper percussion flakers. I don't know how well you can see, but I've got a lot of the flakes off that outer ring, so it's starting to flatten up that bottom pretty well. Sorry, I think I was shaking you around pretty good there. I'm having to hit quite a bit harder, it seems like, with my rock than I do with my copper. Maybe just because it's harder to get an accurate strike in. If you're one of the people that has been keeping up and watching the videos that I've been putting out, by the time you see this one, you may have seen the one I did last night, titled My Thoughts on Why You Need to Know Survival Skills. I had an interesting stutter attack, I guess you would call it, trying to spit out a word my tongue didn't want to spit out. Not too proud of the stutter moment, but my point on that is my videos are all real-time, unedited. So if I make mistakes, you get to see them. I'm not going to claim to be the best at anything. I'm showing you there's always somebody out there that's better somewhere, no matter what you're doing. I suppose if the video ends abruptly, it'll be because I'm running for a band-aid or something. Still got a lot of convexity and cavity there trying to get out. Shaking you around again. Hang on up there. If you watched my obsidian point, I did a lot less angle, but with the glass you're trying to get it to flake across further and take that bump out. So I have it at more of an angle, trying to drive the flakes down deeper. There was a couple of good flakes there. I think I'm about ready to switch to the antler and see how well that works on glass. I'd like to get a little more of that out. Like I said before, I'm not a pro at this. I haven't been doing it all my life. And there's a good chance I'm not going to get it as flat on both sides as I'd like. So I'm afraid I'm going to break it. You see how much it's still curved. I ought to take some curvage out of it, shorten it up. Sorry if my hand just got in your way. I was trying to make sure my lens was still open and the camera is still rolling. It's almost starting to look like something here. Okay. I'm going to switch out the hammerstone. We're going to abrade it a bit. And we'll find out how this works. If I was to find a shed like this, shed antler, you know, I could break this off and it'd be much easier to work with. I'm going to try to do it without having to break it. For sure on glass, it's going to be easy to get a sharp point. Whoops. Throw you around. Yeah, I must have a shard in me somewhere. Yeah, drop of blood on my hide. Well guys, if you're still with me and watching this, you probably get the idea by now. Probably another 10 minutes with my level of skill working at this to get it where I like it. There's a pretty good bump right there still that I'd like to get out, and I'm not sure I like the dovetail being as wide as it is back here. I think I'd probably narrow that up, but I'm gonna call that good. I mean, it's really not that good, but a little bit more work. I could half that to a branch and use it for a spear, if nothing else. A way of dispatching an animal that maybe I caught in a snare or a trap. It's not very symmetrical. It actually needs quite a bit of work yet, but I don't want to bore you with too much more of it, so I'm going to call that it for today. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. More videos coming to you soon.